Okay, so here we are once again in my backyard, and today I have a beginner beekeeper. He's got a lot of potential, Luca.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great, Luca.
This is a lot of fun.
We ran into each other a few weeks ago and you said, hey, I love bees. I would love to drink a smoothie. So we started a smoothie thing, and we'll have a little smoothie I think later on anyway. But today, right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the hives.
That sounds great.
Yeah, and try to see what we see and get you a little bit more familiar with what it takes to make honey.
Yeah.
For that smoothie, or for that gazpacho, or for whatever we want to make.
And let's make that today.
Yeah.
We'll make that later on, but now we have to pick up our honey.
Right. So I want to show you.
I'm scared.
We're just gonna go into the hive, no problem.
No, yeah, that's just, this is the way I wanted to get dressed up today. This is all I was thinking.
I like the white look. You're usually in black.
Usually in black, yeah.
White is a nice touch.
It's the good guy look.
The reason that he's wearing white today is because, hard as it is to believe, all they can see is his mustache and that little black screen in front of you.
Really?
So, yeah,
That's
you're an invisible man.
It's never happened to me in my life. Whether it be size or sound of voice, no one's ever been able to say that to me.
Oh yeah, so, this is cool. All right, so.
You think so? I'm scared to death back here.
So we're going to go into a Langstroth hive. The Langstroth style is the ones that you see in everybody's backyards. They're up and down. They've got 10 frames in each hive body. A hive body looks like, I've been told before, a drawer, but they're really a box. And they've got frames in them so that the bees can draw out comb on each of the frames, and then they can put the eggs or the, sorry.
No, keep going. That's great. I
They
didn't know it was that type of show. Is that what the bees, so that?
They like the smoke. Oh no, they don't like the smoke.
Does the smoke like get them really kind of mellow?
Well, it makes them think that possibly there's a forest fire. And it also masks our scent, because as much as we don't think about it, you didn't put like cologne on or anything.
Yeah, it's just what I wanted to do when I came to see you.
Yeah, so the bees can pick up on your smell, so that's why we use the smoke to mask our scent sometimes.
I thought it was something totally different. I thought they were like in college going, dude, this is the best stuff ever.
Well, I think the drones might be doing that because those are the boys. And you know what they do the best?
What's that?
Well, one thing they really do best is fertilize the queen. But the other thing that they do best is eat.
Right.
So yeah, maybe
My
that
favorite
smoke and the eating, So anyway, long story short, let's get into the hives. We're going to open up the hive and see what we see here. We're going to see some worker bees. We're going to see some drones. Drones are the boys.
Right.
Hopefully we'll see a queen. If we don't see the queen, it's okay. She's busy. She's only got 1,000 eggs to lay a day, so it's no
I have
big
a
deal.
queen at home. I don't need another.
That's right. And there's only one queen in the hive, so remember that.
Oh, trust me, I know.
All right. So I think today what we're going to do is we're going to go into this hive here.
Really? Do we have to?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
better,
it's like baptizing.
It's that much better than store-bought honey, right?
Oh, it is delicious. You wouldn't believe it.
All right, let's do it. Let's go into the hive.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do is we're going to smoke, and you got your own tool there too, Luca, right? So your tool is to try to lift up the frames and things like that. So what we did is we just, whatever she says. So what we did is we just smoked the front. We're going to smoke underneath this cover, let them know that we're going to be coming in a little bit. And then we're going to lift this off.
Oh, there's nothing in there. That's perfect.
This is a pretty
You scared me for nothing.
Yeah, this is a pretty weak hive right now.
Oh, yeah, it's so weak. Wow, this is pretty interesting.
This is a great hive for teaching. So I'm just going to pull out a frame or two to give us some space.
So how much honey can one beehive make, or what's?
You can make 50 to 100 pounds of honey.
50 to 100 pounds of honey?
One hive.
No,
one hive.
One hive.
Yep.
Okay.
So what you're seeing
There's
here.
a lot of bees there.
That's nothing. Nothing.
Seriously.
No. So Luca, if you want, you can hold that.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to explain to you a little bit about what you're seeing. So if you want to show the folks at home what we're seeing here.
How's that? Did I do all
That's
right?
great. That's great. So what I'm going to show them at home is this stuff over here. So they're in these cells here. You're seeing some honey here. So we will be able to put our finger in there a little bit later.
Yay.
And, and then there is nectar in here, and that nectar will turn into honey. It's kind of like sap to syrup. So what they're doing is they're reducing the water content, and so that's why it tastes so sweet, because it's all sugar, just like you would have sap being boiled up.
So they're their own boiling system.
They are, and what they do is they fan it so that they take out all of the excess water.
So it's like a dehydration mode.
It is,
And
it is,
so-
and it's pretty moist in the hives because they put off a lot of heat.
Right. So when you're talking about that, how much pollen, sap, whatever they need to collect to create how much honey? What's that ratio? Is there
You know,
one?
it's like sap. I think it's like that 40 pounds. 40
40 to
pounds
1?
of this does this. 40 pounds of this does that.
So
So,
it's-
about, I believe it's like 40 pounds of, or maybe it's,
Could be somewhere. There's bees
anyway, it's a
all over.
lot.
You
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about the math right now.
no,
I'm just
no,
saying.
no. But it's a lot. You know, each bee in its lifetime, because they live in the summer about 42 days or so,
Right.
it will only make about 1/16 of a teaspoon of honey. So when you look at a jar of honey, you look at this jar that we have here, which we will
Right.
use later. This jar is a lot of energy.
Well, yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, this isn't even a teaspoon. I mean, a teaspoon at a time, and then like 1,000 teaspoons. This is a lot of energy in this
So
jar.
I just want to show something. I don't know if Ernie could get that. There's this bee right over here with his head stuck in a honeycomb. Can you even see that, Ernie? And so I guess is he putting bee? Hello, where'd you go?
I'm
You
right
left
here.
me alone with these. Don't you ever do
Oh,
that
you're
again?
doing fine.
Do you see that? You see that one with his head stuck in
Yeah,
there? No,
cleaning
yeah.
out this. Well, like this one here.
Oh, this one up here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cleaning out the cell or adding nectar. So that what they're doing is they're going to fill those up, and then once they're full, they're going to cover it with this wax coating here, and that is honey that is fine. I mean, that's ready to be eaten.
Look at that.
I know, isn't that awful?
And they don't get upset when you do
Well, I mean, would you want them coming into your house?
that?
to do
Okay,
that?
and you want me to put my finger in there?
No, they're totally fine. But that is honey right there. So
is
we could just
awesome.
stick our finger in and.
When
you
can
know,
I,
eat
how
it.
can I do that?
Well, we'll do it a little bit later.
Later?
I want to
Okay.
show you a little bit more about the hive.
All right,
Because you are my my student today.
I'm your student
Yes,
today.
yes.
More stuff about hives.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
so we're going to go into a frame that has a little bit more going on.
Okay. It doesn't need to be anymore. Oh my goodness.
This isn't that bad. But you know what you can see here? This is really cool. I know that it might not be cool to you,
Yeah,
but
no, it's very cool.
but in here there's little white larvae. Can you see those?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that more bees?
More bees. So there's a queen in here. She's laying eggs, and those look like drone comb, but there should be other larvae around. Yep. So she's laying a few drone comb, and she's laying a little bit of worker brood too as well. There's, as you can see, there's honey on the outside. So with the way that they set up their
Right.
frames is they'll have their brood, which is the babies in the middle,
Right.
and then they set up kind of like the nursery around it. So they'll have pollen around the edge and then honey around the very, very edges. The honey is for the adults, and the pollen and the nectar mixture is a bee bread, and that's for the babies.
Huh. So I mean, they're really sophisticated in the way the society works.
They
right?
really are. And you know, I started beekeeping about 10 years ago, and I just thought, oh, they're really cool. But the more you learn about them, the more you understand what they do, when they do it in their lifetimes, it's really amazing. And to think that they can make that much honey, I mean, when we do this is one hive body,
Right.
okay? Usually the brood is going to be in 2 of these, and then you can put 6 or 7 or 8 more hive bodies on top. They're a little bit more shallow,
Right.
but those can all be filled with honey. I mean, these guys are overachievers like crazy.
Now, here's the thing.
And here's the queen.
Oh, hey, there it is. You said you could pick it out.
She's right there. Can you see her?
No,
Can you
I
see-
totally see her.
You can see the difference there?
Yeah.
She's so much bigger. I'm going to bring it over to you guys
Oh,
so
that
you
is
guys
so
can
cool.
see this.
There's a queen in there.
The queen,
What'd you say about
the
once
queen
somebody
is right
mates
there.
with the queen? What
and
happens?
I'm going to blow on it.
Oh.
Just
You're
one
gonna
second.
blow
I'm
on
sorry.
it.
So you can see her a little bit more.
Yeah, that's it. Just agitate them by blowing on them. Why don't you?
Yeah.
They know.
But she's doing a great job. And, you know, this is a really, really young hive. So, you know, this isn't even as full as it really would be in the middle of the summer. It's pretty early on this hive. And this is probably about half as many bees as you would see on this frame. But the rest of those would be filled as well.
Okay, so it's per frame. It'd be double the amount that's here.
Right, right.
And how do they just walk over each other? They just kind of move
Yeah,
around each
and
other.
you know what they do is they touch each other as they move along. So they have this pheromone that they put off, and that's how they communicate. Because if you think about it, we're pulling these out and it's light, but in a hive, it's not light.
pitch
it's
black
dark.
almost,
Right.
yeah.
So what they do is they do little dances. Sometimes, you know, you won't see it so much right now because it's later in the day, but they'll go out and they'll communicate as to where to go for food and different things like that, so that they get the best nectar. And you know, they don't. It's nice when you have like one. Yeah, you got it.
There she
Keep
is.
pointing on her. Yep.
Yeah, there she goes.
Yeah. So
Cool.
if you have one flower in your yard, that's good. But they want a whole field of clover or, you know, whatever you have. And, you know, like when you see corn, corn is an air pollinator. So that's not something that they're interested in. But they're interested in anything that there's an abundance of. Like in the fall, you'll see goldenrod. And the goldenrod is very attractive. And it's a little bit stronger honey than what they'll have for clover. So, you know, you have blueberry honey. You have, oh gosh, orange blossom down in Florida. You have honey locust, which is really, really light. So there's all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to ask you to pull this frame out if you want.
Yeah, no. Wait, how do I pull it out? I wasn't paying attention.
That's okay. What you're going to do is you're going to pry this up.
Well, let me just tell you something. The best part about this is that they can't see the panic that's on their face. And then pick it up like that?
Yeah, just hold like right
hold
there.
Like there.
Yeah. And then you just hold that side and I'll get the other side for you. Okay. And look at, we haven't even used the smoker. Look at how gentle these guys are.
Yeah, they're so gentle.
They are.
It's because I'm invisible.
This one doesn't have the queen on it, but it's got larvae in here again. You can
see
those white larvae.
Does the
all of those white
queen
ones.
go ahead and do larvae in almost every, what is it
Usually in
called?
the center, in the center of the frames, she will. Yep.
So she just jumps back and forth between the two.
Right. And I mean, she's only laying 1,000 eggs a day, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, she's just like a woman, another overachiever.
Yeah.
Just doing too much in one day.
Right.
They don't play video games, do they?
No. But that's all she does. She just lays eggs. She has attendant bees that will feed her. They'll take care of her. Yep. Anything that she needs, they're going to be there for her. Now this
be there for her.
This comb here is all drawn out by them. So what we do is we start with this foundation, and what they'll do is they have little wax glands on their body. So what they'll do is they'll take that nectar, and it goes through their body, and it's almost like little sweat glands.
Okay. So this is where the comb part they made themselves. All you had was a wire and a wood frame.
Wire and wood and this little thin piece of foundation.
Okay.
But what they're doing is they're going to draw it out. So like
this
was flat at one time, and now it's drawn out so that they can put their babies in it and their nectar and different things like that. When you say
this is a young hive, what's a young hive?
Young hive means it's weak. It just got started. We probably started this with a nuke box, which is 5 frames of bees, and it's only been in here for maybe 2 weeks or so. So by the next month or so, this hive will have another hive body right up on top of it.
Really?
Yes.
So okay, one last thing.
Yeah.
What these are honeybees? Mm-hmm. That's what they're called, or is
right? These are honeybees.
How do you know what a honeybee is, and what does a bumblebee do that a honeybee doesn't? Do they collect honey too?
They do, but they're solitary bees. So a bumblebee will grow its hive in the ground, and it only has maybe 100 bees on it.
Oh, okay.
And it won't fly quite as far as a honeybee will, because a honeybee will fly 3 to 5 miles. Bumblebee will stay more like mile, 2 miles. But the other good thing about a bumblebee, although it doesn't make the abundance of honey like these guys do, the bumblebee will go out and pollinate in the rain, in the wind, in the cold. These guys, it has to be 50 degrees or so. They'll fly before that, but 50 degrees or so. And it can't be raining. I mean, it's just, there's different pollinators that have different things that they need in order to go around. Like butterflies, it needs to be 85 degrees.
Can I put this back?
You may.
Yeah, I'm just about done with that.
Yeah. So that wasn't scary, right?
No. Terrifying, but not scary.
No,
it's actually not only interesting. They really, like you said, they're really docile. They just hang out and they're doing their job. They're busy as bees, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's where you get that from, and that's all they're thinking about right now.
Yep.
Pretty incredible. So how do we get some honey for the show?
Okay, so what I think we ought to do is we'll just take this frame in, and we'll just have you put your finger in all of this, and then we'll just put it in the food.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'm already there.
Yeah. No. We have honey that we've already extracted.
Cool.
But if you'd like, you can take off one of your gloves.
And this is why I get paid the big bucks by Cheshire
Right.
TV. I'm just letting you know. Ernie, you got this one? There you go, buddy.
Okay. And then we'll just have you.
I didn't need you.
We'll have you pull this up when you put your finger in.
Yeah, when I put my finger in it? Yeah, I think so. Not before.
So let me just smoke this away.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Dude, here she is again with the smoke.
I know. It'll just move them away so that you don't have to worry about them
They're
at
all
all.
on their way to Cumbies.
Okay.
Get
So
it?
you can
You
just
get-
stick your
yeah.
finger right in there.
Just put it in there.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Hold on.
Yep.
Look at that. I'm sorry. I got
That's
it.
okay.
And with the comb and everything?
Yep. Put it right in your mouth.
Oh, this is exciting.
Does it taste like real honey?
That is incredible.
Isn't that sweet? And the taste is so much stronger.
Oh,
I mean,
my goodness.
It just, I don't know. It's a different flavor than when
It's
you
a
go to the
whole new
store and
world.
get some store-bought honey that's not local. You know, there's a lot of beekeepers in the area. There's like a lot of beekeepers in the area.
Well,
You just have no idea.
I got to tell you, it's like the best sugar I've ever put in my mouth.
Yeah. And you know, somebody was telling us, I just taught a bee class the other day.
Wow, that was
and they were
incredible.
telling us, because sometimes we do have to feed our bees. I'm going to close this up, but
That's a great idea.
sometimes we feed our bees
What do you feed 'em?
sugar.
Oh, sugar.
And they were saying that sugar has gone up like 3 times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So, you know, I would imagine that more people are going to be starting to think about honey, and that will probably increase the cost for honey as well. But at least we have another sugar source, you know, so you don't have to have.
But that is incredible. That little amount of sugar, it felt like I was eating candy. I mean, that's how good it was.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Oh, yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah.
going to take off, should I take off my hat?
You can. Yeah, I
Really?
think so.
I want to
yeah.
see if people can see me in here. Oh, wait, I'm
This
all.
really is Luca.
It really, it's not just a voiceover
Right,
of somebody
right.
here. Wow, that was incredible.
Yeah, yeah.
All
And
right.
you know, we didn't use much smoke, and you know, the bees are all pretty relaxed. You've seen where the honey comes from, and this is what we're going to be using for the.
So this is the best
The
thing we could do.
recipes, yeah.
We should go back to Monadnock, Florida. We'll put together a couple of recipes,
Sounds
show
great.
everybody all about them,
Yeah,
and then we'll just have a great time.
I can't wait.
All right.
Thanks, Luca.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Yeah, thank you for joining me. And you know, I hope that you learned a few things, and that you
Incredible.
guys learned a few things about bees. It's not really anything to be scared about.
It's not anything to be scared about. Yes, you're absolutely right. This, I love those puns. No, but it was great because
Yeah.
even now, when I got back here, I wasn't going to come back here without this helmet thing. And now I don't feel even, I bet if you picked it up, I'd just be watching them and it'd
Yeah,
be cool.
yeah.
It's really amazing to see that they're really in touch with themselves. and-
Right.
And it's like, you don't have to worry about them.
Right, right.
And the honey was delicious.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm
Oh.
glad you enjoyed it. So, you know, what my suggestion is always to go into a hive. If you've never been into a hive, find somebody that's a beekeeper
Yeah.
that feels comfortable with what they're doing, and then go into the hive with them, and then see if that's something that you'd like to have of your own.
Right.
Because beekeeping is not hard. It's just that if you have an education on beekeeping, it helps you in the future. Because what we did is we just barely touched what we do in beekeeping. There's a lot to know. And I've been doing it again for 10 years or so, and I learn something every day, and it's really interesting for me because it's a different situation. You can see that we've got tons of boxes here
Right.
of different things. Each box here has a queen in it. It's like a little community in each one of these, and these will someday be larger communities. But it's just amazing to see how they communicate, how they, you know, you don't see a lot of fighting. You may see fighting between hives.
Really?
Only if there's like a ton of food
Right.
and there's robbing. It's just natural. But otherwise, everybody does their own thing. And, you know, we've had our cameramen out here without any garb on today, which is great. And they haven't had any worries at all either. So, you know, I'm not saying go out to the hives and knock them around,
Yeah,
but
don't do that.
it's nothing to be really that scared
You
about.
know, I had a great time today. Thank you so
Excellent,
much for the
excellent.
opportunity to be out here.
I'm glad.
This
I'm
is a
glad.
blast.
Yeah, we'll have to see you out in the hives a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe I'll call you.
maybe. But if you want to call me and be on our show, just like Luca, please give us an email. Our email address is inmybackyardch8@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to talk with you. If you have any other comments or suggestions on shows, please email us. And Jenna and myself, my other co-host that's
Yeah.
not here today, but she and I will get back to you, and we'll consider, you know, topics that are about nature, the environment, agriculture, all in the Monadnock region. So I guess we'll see everybody else in my backyard. Bye.